He mocked the wrong woman. Officer Miller screamed at the driver, "Get your dirty hands off the wheel and get out of my country." He thought she was just another helpless victim he could bully. He thought he had all the power. But 20 minutes later, he was begging her to save his career. Because the woman he had in handcuffs wasn't a criminal. And she wasn't undocumented. She was a highly decorated captain in the United States Army. And what happened next didn't just end his shift. It destroyed his entire life. Before we dive into this interesting story, kindly tell us where you are watching from. Hit the subscribe button for more interesting stories. It was a Tuesday afternoon. The road was deserted. Captain Elena Rodriguez was tired. She had just landed on U.S. soil 6 hours ago. She had been deployed for 18 months. 18 months of sand, heat, and missing her family. She wasn't wearing her uniform. She was wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans. She wanted to be comfortable. She just wanted to see her daughter. She was driving her father's old pickup truck. It was rusted. It was loud. But it ran. She didn't know that 3 miles down the road, a predator was waiting. Officer Miller sat in his cruiser. He was bored. He was angry. And he was looking for someone to hurt. He saw the rusted truck. He saw the driver's skin color. He saw the out-of-state plates. He smiled. He signaled her to stop. Elena sighed. She checked her speed. She was going 5 under the limit. She pulled over. She kept her hands on the wheel. She knew the drill. She was a soldier. Discipline was her life. Officer Miller walked up to the window. He didn't walk like a public servant. He walked like a king. He tapped his baton on the glass. Hard. Elena rolled down the window. "Good afternoon, officer," she said. Her voice was calm. Miller didn't return the greeting. He leaned in. He smelled the air inside the truck. "License and registration," he snapped. Elena moved slowly. "It's in my bag on the passenger seat, officer. Is it okay if I reach for it?" Miller's hand dropped to his holster. "Don't you move," he screamed. "I know your type." Reaching for a weapon. Elena froze. "No weapon, officer. Just my ID." Miller laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound. "ID? You mean a fake card you bought at the flea market?" He opened the door. He grabbed Elena by the arm. He yanked her out of the truck. "Get out. You're done running." Elena stumbled. She tried to find her footing. "Officer, I am a U.S. citizen. I am a soldier." Miller shoved her against the truck. "Shut up. You're property of the state now. And you're going back across the border right away." But Miller made a fatal mistake. He was so busy screaming, he didn't look at the sticker on the back windshield. And he didn't see the phone on the dashboard. It was recording. Miller kicked Elena's legs apart. He patted her down aggressively. He found her wallet. He threw it on the ground. He didn't even open it. "Look at this trash," he spat. "Coming into my country. Stealing jobs. Driving junk trucks." Elena took a deep breath. She had faced insurgents. She had faced enemy fire. She could handle a bully with a badge. "Officer Miller," she said, reading his name tag. "My military identification is in that wallet. If you look at it, we can resolve this." Miller kicked the wallet into the dirt. "I don't care about your fake ID," he yelled. "I'm impounding this truck. And I'm calling immigration." He cuffed her hands behind her back. The metal bit into her wrists. "You're hurting me," Elena said. "Good," Miller replied. "Maybe next time you'll stay in your own country." He walked over to the passenger side. He saw a large green duffel bag. "Jackpot," he whispered. "Drugs? Stolen goods." He unzipped the bag. He saw a uniform. Camouflage. Patches. He froze for a second. But his arrogance was too strong. His hate was too deep. He pulled the uniform out. He threw it in the dirt. He stepped on it with his muddy boot. Stole a soldier's uniform too, he laughed. Stolen valor. That's a felony, sweetheart. You're going away for a long time. Elena watched him step on her uniform. The uniform she bled in. Her eyes went cold. You just made the biggest mistake of your life, she said softly. Miller ignored her. He went to his radio. Dispatch, this is Miller. I got a runner. Female. Hispanic. Possibility of stolen military property. Requesting transport for deportation processing. The radio crackled. Copy that, Miller. Transport is 20 minutes out. 20 minutes. Elena stood by the road. Officer, she said. Check the front pocket of the uniform. My ID is there. Miller walked back to her. He got right in her face. You don't give orders here, he hissed. I do. You are nothing. You are a ghost. By tomorrow, you'll be on a bus south. He grabbed her phone from the dashboard. He saw it was recording. He smashed it on the pavement. Oops, he smirked. Slippery hands. He thought he had destroyed the evidence. He thought he had won. But karma doesn't care about a broken phone. Because Elena wasn't alone. Before Miller pulled her over, she had been on a call via Bluetooth. She hadn't hung up. The call was still active on the truck speaker system. And the person listening on the other end had heard everything. Every insult, every threat, every lie. And he was furious. 10 minutes passed. Miller was leaning on his cruiser, scrolling on his personal phone. Elena was standing in the dirt. Then 2 vehicles appeared. 2 SUVs. Black. Tinted windows. Government plates. Miller straightened up. He smiled. Looks like immigration is here early, he said to Elena. Pack your bags, honey. Oh wait, you don't have any. The SUVs screeched to a halt. Dust filled the air. Miller walked forward, chest puffed out. He was ready to brag about his catch. Right here, boys, he waved. Got her secured. The doors of the first SUV opened. 4 men stepped out. They weren't immigration officers. They were military police. They were holding rifles. Miller stopped walking. He looked confused. Whoa, he said. What's this? I didn't call the army. Then the back door of the second SUV opened. A man stepped out. He was tall. He had gray hair. He wore a uniform with stars on the shoulder. It was General Marcus Vance, the base commander, and he looked ready to kill. Miller's smile dropped. General? Sir? Is there a problem? General Vance didn't look at Miller. He walked straight to Elena. He saw the handcuffs. He saw the uniform in the dirt. He saw the boot print on the American flag patch. His face turned red. A vein popped in his forehead. Officer! Vance screamed. The sound echoed across the desert. Miller jumped. Yes, sir. Why is my captain in chains? Miller started to sweat. Captain? No, sir. This is a mistake. She's an illegal. She stole that uniform. She has a fake ID. Vance turned to Miller. He walked up to him slowly. The military police surrounded them. Uncuff her, Vance said. His voice was a low growl. But sir, protocol. Uncuff her now. Vance roared. Miller fumbled for his keys. His hands were shaking. He dropped the keys in the dirt. He had to kneel to pick them up. He unlocked the cuffs. Elena rubbed her wrists. She didn't say a word. She just saluted the general. Vance returned the salute. Then he pointed at the dirt. Pick it up, Vance said to Miller. What? Miller asked. My captain's uniform. The one you stepped on. The one you disrespected. Pick it up. Miller looked at the MPs. They weren't smiling. Slowly, the arrogant officer bent down. He picked up the dirty jacket. He tried to brush off the dust. "Sir, I didn't know," Miller stammered. She fit the description. Elena finally spoke. "The description? Of what, officer?" "A black person driving a truck." Miller looked at her. He looked at the general. He realized his mistake was fatal. "She refused to show ID," Miller lied. "She resisted." Vance reached into his pocket. He pulled out his phone. "Strange," Vance said. "Because I was on the phone with her. I heard her offer her ID 3 times. I heard you call her a slur. And I heard you smash her phone." Miller's face went pale. He looked like he was going to be sick. You heard?" "Every word," Vance said. "And so did the dashcam in her truck. The one you forgot to check." Minutes later, the state troopers arrived. But they weren't there for Elena. General Vance had made a call. Miller was stripped of his badge right there on the side of the road. He was read his rights. He was charged with assault, destruction of property, and civil rights violations. As they put Miller in the back of the squad car, he looked out the window. He saw Elena. She was wearing her jacket. She looked clean. She looked powerful. She didn't smile. She didn't mock him. She just watched. He realized then that he had lost everything. His job, his pension, his power. All because he judged a book by its cover. Karma doesn't care about your badge. It only cares about the truth. Subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories.